Picture a world where something smaller than your fingernail decides the fate of nations. Tiny chips, the beating heart of modern technology, now stand at the center of a struggle reshaping global power. This isn't science fiction. This is the modern Cold War between the United States and China. Beijing quietly forging a counterstrike, a strategy not just to survive, but to dominate. What happens if China wins? What if it binds Africa, the Middle East, and swathes of Asia into a supercharged BRICS, creating a rival to NATO and Quad? The stakes for America aren't just technological. They're economic, military, and geopolitical. This conflict began in 2018 as a trade dispute. By 2025, it has become a full-blown global crisis. The question hanging over the world: will China's dragon bring down America's eagle? Imagine China's self-reliant strategy succeeding. The Made in China 2025 blueprint meets its targets, giving Beijing control over both legacy and advanced chips. US sanctions backfire. Even industry titan TSMC buckles under Chinese pressure. In this future, China builds a separate network of allied economies, powerful enough to stand apart from the Western financial system. These blocs, anchored by Africa, the Middle East, and Asia, challenge the dominance of US-led alliances. The economic blow to America is severe. The CHIPS Act's $6.6 billion is a drop in the bucket compared to China's $142 billion semiconductor push. US companies like Intel and Nvidia find themselves dependent on China's cheaper, cutting-edge chips. Supply chains bend toward Beijing. American consumers face soaring prices for smartphones, computers, and cars. Manufacturing jobs vanish as factories relocate to Asia. Economists warn, if China's market share climbs beyond 65%, US GDP could contract by 1 to 2%. The dollar weakens as the Chinese yuan gains international traction. The shadow looming over Wall Street could dwarf the 2008 financial crisis. The battlefield isn't just economic, it's military. Every fighter jet, missile guidance system, AI-powered drone, and cyber defense platform relies on chips. If China wins the chip war, the US military loses its technological edge. China's hypersonic missiles, powered by domestically produced chips, could outrun US defense systems. A Taiwan conflict would tilt heavily in Beijing's favor, especially if China seizes Taiwan's semiconductor infrastructure, setting US capabilities back 3 to 5 years. China's allied blocs would undermine NATO's influence. European and Asian nations dependent on Chinese tech might shift loyalties. In Pentagon war rooms, the nightmare scenario plays out. Generals staring at screens, realizing America's defense systems are outmatched. Cyber attacks, launched through vulnerabilities in chip-based systems, could threaten America's power grid, banking networks, and communication systems. This is a new kind of Cold War, where military superiority depends on nanometers of silicon. A Chinese victory fractures the world order. Beijing's new alliances, fortified under a BRICS Plus framework, split the globe into two rival camps. Africa and Latin America gravitate toward China's economic orbit, pulled by the Belt and Road Initiative's infrastructure investments. US allies in Asia, like Japan and South Korea, face mounting pressure to choose sides. Quad weakens. In international bodies like the UN and WTO, America struggles to push its agenda as China's influence grows. At home, political divisions deepen. Public frustration mounts over job losses, tech shortages, and economic stagnation. The American dream fades while China's Chinese dream takes center stage on the global stage. This vision of the future is not inevitable, but it is possible. For now, the US retains a lead in advanced R&D, chip design, and certain high-end manufacturing. But if sanctions fail, the consequences could match or exceed the scenarios described here. The chip war is not just a fight over technology. It's a battle for the future economic order, military dominance, and the right to define globalization itself. If China wins, America risks economic decline, military vulnerability, and geopolitical isolation. The world could split into two spheres of influence, with the US fighting to reclaim ground it once held uncontested. The clock is ticking, the chips are falling, and the question remains: who will control the silicon heart of the 21st century?